What is going on, everybody? It's your favorite neighborhood gamer, PTK Blam, back with another episode 189 of the Shop Podcast. How is everybody doing this post Christmas hangover? Hopefully, everybody had a safe and thankful Christmas, man. We are all here, man. Shout out to everybody watching us live, man. Happy holidays to the chat. What's going on, everybody? Retweet, hit that link in the description below. The link is already up on Twitter. Let everybody know the Shop Podcast is live this weekend, man. So as you guys can see, we are one amigo short this week, but he is in the chat. He is taking a little bit of a break. Shout out to Stag, man. Appreciate you. Love you, brother. Hopefully everything is good over there with you, man. We'll see you back on the show, man, with open arms. But let's go ahead and just get to who we got on the show as of right now. We have a brand new guest, first time. We've been bringing up bangers this year. First time guest, man. Check the archives. But let's go ahead and introduce Husk once again. His first time here on the show. He is part of Gaming Beyond the Box podcast as well. Shout out to those guys over there at Gaming Beyond the Box. Wilmy, everybody hanging out over there. But Husk, man, how you doing, brother? How you been? How was your Christmas? What's going on with you?
Oh shit, dude, I've been good. Other than being on call this week, which kind of sucked for the holidays.
Yeah,
but
man.
no, I'm doing good, man. Been getting down on some cyberpunk, dicking around there.
Okay.
Yeah, no, other than that, good Christmas.
Dicking around or figure?
Yeah, no, like I spent
I
spent like an hour today just fine-tuning graphic settings. So
nice. Okay.
I'm stuck on side quests and shit.
All right.
So, yeah, no, Christmas was good. Glad to be here. I appreciate the invite.
Not a problem, man. But once again,
wait, one more time.
Go ahead.
I forgot.
Nope.
There
we go.
I had to get that in.
He is on call, so we only doing one of those. So please, man, we are responsible here on the Shop Podcast. We do not do that. But anyway, no. Once again, shout out to you, man. Gaming Beyond the Box. Appreciate you guys. Shout out to everybody over there. Shout out to the chat too, showing love. Oh, don't forget, Super Chat is live, everybody. If you do want to donate, support the show. It all comes back to the show. So the more you do it, the more benefits everybody here, as well as just the upkeep of everything that we do here on the Shop Podcast. But let's go ahead and move on to the regular. So we're gonna start with you, Centurion. Obviously, we were down a compadre, but nevertheless, we're gonna keep it going. But how you been doing? How was your holiday, Centurion? What you been up to, brother?
Oh my God. Yeah, it's been a great holiday. Got some gaming in. Obviously playing ESO. They're having the New Life Festival over there, but that's another story. Mainly I've been kind of playing Forza. I don't know how. I must have caught the same bug that Fuzzy had. I am playing Forza. I see his character go by every now and then with a little gold emblem, and I'm like, I see you, I'm coming. But yeah, I'm playing some I guess been ADD in it all over the place. Forza, Code Vein, what's the other one? Yakuza Like a Dragon, all sorts of games, man. Just kind of relaxing, enjoying a little bit of time off from work and gaming.
Yeah, I feel you. I had a couple of days off as well too. I did work today, although it wasn't a full shift. So, man, shout out to everybody out there that had to jump right back into the grind right after the holidays, man. But like I said, I'm glad to see everybody that is here show up. You guys are amazing. Always appreciate the show.
But then also, yeah, it totally dawned on me. Also playing Destiny with you.
Yeah, we did play.
Then finding out the next day that it was your birthday.
Yeah, no, it's all good. And I appreciate the support, the gift as well. Since you're around, you're fucking amazing. I tell you that live all the
people
time.
know that's how humble PTK is. Like, you'll be playing games with him the night before his birthday and you won't even know it.
No, man, but I once again, everybody, you guys, this is why we here, this is why we do it. But once again, Centurion, thank you for being a part of the show, man. You are so awesome. Shout out to everybody jumping in right now. Hit the like button as well. Let everybody know we are live. Retweet that link. So last but not least, we're gonna smooth it. This is where we break out the smoking jackets and the cognac husk. This is the part of the show. So Fuzzy, go ahead, let everybody know what's going on with you. I know, how was your Christmas? How you feeling, brother?
Hey, what's up, everyone? Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Festivus for any of those that don't celebrate Christmas or any of the other denominations I may have missed. But man, it was definitely relaxing, and for me, it's all for the kids now. Like, I'm pretty much I'm hard to buy gifts for. I already told my wife all in advance. It's like most of the stuff I wanted I already bought, but kids were both finally on their PCs. One was on punishment for a good bit of time, so we eased up on that. Got them some Steam cards, so they went wild on some of the Steam sales, and they've been busy just enjoying some of the stuff, dealing with gaming, both on console and on PC. But other than that, glad to be here. Man, so much like little stuff as far as news and other things on the horizon. I'm not going to take up too much longer, so let's just hop right into it.
Appreciate it, man. So once again, everybody, shout out to everybody right here watching live, everybody that's just watching at home, not in the chat, man. Appreciate you guys. Once again, hit the link for the support, retweet, let everybody know we're live here on the Shop Podcast. So let's dive right into the topic. So first topic, man, what we always do every single day, every single podcast, poll of the week. Once again, that's up on Twitter every single Monday. My information is down below. Follow me on Twitter if you want more. If you want to see that poll of the week, then we talk about it every Saturday on the show. So this week's poll of the week was a big one because I'm gonna be honest, this one did some numbers. This is our biggest poll of the week to date. It actually got over 1,035 votes, which is amazing, and that was in probably 2 to 3 days. So appreciate everybody that voted on the poll of the week. It is the biggest poll of the week to date. So essentially the question was, with Xbox first-party studios kicking in a high gear starting 2021, rank these first-party games from most to least anticipated and why. And once again, the poll went crazy, over 1,000 votes. So the order was Fable was the most. So at Fable, 39%. Second, Avowed, 25%. Third, Perfect Dark, 20%. And then 16% Starfield. So once again, chat, that is the order in which everybody voted. Once again, over 1,000 people. So appreciate everybody there. But we're going to start with you, Husk. So we throwing you out of the frying pan into the fire, brother. So what order out of those games are you, as far as most anticipated to least, those 4 titles, where you at?
I would have been Avowed, Perfect Dark, and then Fable and Starfield. I don't know if I could pick, because I never got into the Fable series. I know a lot of people did, but I don't know. I guess I'd probably put Starfield above it because it'd be new to me too. I guess I don't know. Those last 2 would be hard. I'm looking more forward to Avowed than anything on that list.
Okay,
and that's what my vote was. So
okay, no. Once again, I appreciate that. So is it more just Obsidian? Is it more of just Fallout? Is it more Skyrim? Is it like, where are you at as far as why are you looking forward to that particular title? I mean, all of them are great games. Obviously, you have your for your order, but specifically for Avowed, where is the studio?
The studio plays a factor, but just the little tiny bits they've shown, I don't know. It just looks good. Like from every look at every perspective they showed in that dinky little trailer we got. It just seems like it's going to be maybe the scale of something like a Skyrim or something, but maybe not as big of a fuck up as this this online horseshit that they pulled here recently with the Elder Scrolls. Yeah, I don't know. The Elder Scrolls Online, I wasn't a fan of that. I don't know. It looks different, but similar in some aspects. I don't know. I'm just excited for it just from that trailer we saw. Like, I just want to see more of it, like a lot more.
Okay. All right. So that's fair. Once again, chat, this is not just for us. This is for you as well. Let us know in the chat, what order would you guys place those 4 in from most to least anticipated? So my order, let me go here before I go ahead and throw this to my order, actually, if I had to choose, it would have been Perfect Dark 1, Fable 2, Avowed 3, and then Starfield. The reason I have that order, Perfect Dark 1, is because I just think the accumulation of talent that the initiative have makes the game the most interesting. Because they did not say, they specifically said as well, and I think a lot of people haven't caught that they said it's not just a first-person shooter. There's a lot of other elements. They're focusing on other things. So this is not going to be a traditional first-person shooter. And I know a lot of people were kind of upset about it being first-person and not third-person, but the first Perfect Dark was first-person. Like, we're not, like, if you weren't old enough to go back and play that game, go back and play it. Very phenomenal game.
Rare replay, man.
Yeah, go play it. phenomenal game, but it was first person, so stop tripping anybody that
It was first person, but the actual premise of it was to be more espionage than
more stealth, more
GoldenEye
espionage.
just running around gunning people down. They wanted it to be more espionage.
Yeah, more tech focused as well, that type of
Yes.
thing. But either way, that's my order. I got Starfield last only because we know the least. But I did say potentially Starfield could be the biggest of the four. So go ahead. I'm throwing this over to you, Centurion. What's your order, brother?
I'm pretty much at the same order as you. Shucks, I'm definitely going to be right there for Perfect Dark. I'm excited with the talent that's over at the initiative. I'm also intrigued by the description of the story using today's events. Perfect Dark. Was it this show or a different show where I said Perfect Dark, when it first came out, it was basically referred to as a GoldenEye ripoff. It was a clone. It had actually, its standout qualities over GoldenEye. But it definitely it held that title. Basically, as a result, it didn't really fit at the time when it came out. Now, fast forward to 2020, 2021, when this game's revealed, and it's more fitting, especially with how tech-oriented the world is today compared to when that game first came out. When that game first came out, if you told people that they were walking around with devices in their pockets that would track them constantly, advertise to them, and do all this other crazy stuff that was basically kind of like insinuated in the game, you'd be like, oh, no, they're not doing that, but here we are. Yeah. So it's actually more fitting, and I feel like it's actually going to find some legs in today's culture. And there's a lot of people who really do not know who Joanna Dark is, and that's where
great character, and they need to see a woman as well. That's important.
And that's where GoldenEye, and now this game goes beyond espionage. See, that's where in the original game, that's where people need to understand this game can actually go down a very heavy sci-fi role. In the first game, you had a character called Elvis who is actually an alien, and you actually ran around with them. He had a flying saucer. It was actually quite comical. So there is potential where they could have something like that actually in the game, something that's completely, like almost Marvel-like, like, oh, well, it's not going to be that realistic.
Yeah.
But definitely going back to the subject at hand, Fable and Avowed. Fable obviously kind of holds a special place in my heart, but we have not seen anything really revealed outside of a CG trailer. So I guess it's at that elevated position just because of where it is, in my opinion. Avowed, definitely looking forward to it. Reminds me of the old school Skyrim. I know ESO is not that cup of tea for everybody. Definitely never ever go to Elder Scrolls Online thinking it's ever going to be any of the single player experiences from the Elder Scrolls series. It's definitely its own little standalone title. Avowed, I guess, is going to scratch that itch for people who have been wanting a good, first person fantasy game since Skyrim. And it's really good to see that Obsidian is going to be the one to do it, because Obsidian's a really good company. They've had experience doing RPGs. So definitely we're going to get something good out of that. Now, Starfield, I barely know nothing about it. I'll be absolutely truthful.
Yeah.
When Starfield first probably came out, that game was probably thought of entirely as a PC game, which is why I never really read too much about it. Now, all of a sudden, Microsoft has acquired ZeniMax, and these consoles are starting to become pretty damn powerful, almost on the scale of miniature PCs, and it's starting to change the the playing field of consoles and gaming in general. So it's kind of opened my eyes up to where I want to start learning more about this game, because the potential of me playing it is now going up.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. No. Once again,
now that I've chatted everybody's damn head off.
No, you're good. No. Once again, man. Good breakdown. Obviously,
I just wanted to take it seriously.
No. Absolutely. Obviously, you got a great order. Like I said, your list is identical to mine. So, and it's funny because I actually would probably put Starfield over Fable. The only reason I'm putting Fable over Starfield really is just because of nostalgia purposes, and I think that's
where I really hope that doesn't now. Not to interrupt, but that's where we all need to like take nostalgia and hype and hold it close because we don't need another damn cyberpunk situation on our hands.
Well, no, I'm not even.
I know you ain't gonna do that, but what I'm saying is people need to. I understand that's where I'm saying I am ready for some Fable, but we have seen nothing but a 1-minute CG trailer.
No, absolutely. No, I completely agree. All I'm saying is that the studio that's doing it, they've never made this kind of game.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. There's a lot.
It's very interesting in that studio choice that they pick. Say, hey, we're gonna give you this franchise, and I'm super surprised, and I think that it's gonna be very. I'm just that's another reason I think why I put it over about, because Obsidian feels like I won't say LeBron, but they feel like it's peanut butter and jelly. I know what I'm getting from Obsidian. Like, I know the quality that I'm getting. Like, I kind of know what I'm getting, and with that level of game, with their ability to storytell and make those RPGs, like that's bread
Who's
and
doing
butter.
Fable? I know it's Playground Games, not Turn 10,
Yeah.
right?
No, it's Playground.
No.
Playground. So yeah, but either way. So once again, good breakdown. Let's go ahead and throw this over to you, Fuzz. Where you at, man? You got 4 choices, man. Which order are you in, and why, Fuzz?
I started with Starfield, even though there's the least amount of it known. I want something that is, and I know I'm probably hyping up my expectations a bit too much.
Don't say it.
Something that's going to be, memorable, like a Mass Effect, not necessarily
he said it.
Mass Effect type of game, but
Well, you're getting a Mass Effect too, so
yeah.
Dude, I'm like, oh my god, I'm on the edge of my seat for another Mass Effect, which is why I don't want to because oh my god, if a game could replace Mass Effect for me, you guys won't see me for days.
No, that's what I'm hoping Starfield is able to kind of at least scratch that itch type of thing. I mean, was it Star Citizen is that PC game that doesn't seem like it's ever going to be launched as a complete game. It'll be in like beta forever. And
wasn't it like a Kickstarter or something, or wasn't it like?
And it's playable, but man, it's just there's not a endpoint to it at this point because it's being so ambitious. And I'm hoping Starfield has similar ambition, but kind of scaled down where it is going to be able to be released and then updated over time type of thing. But with it being a space or a sci-fi type game, I'm definitely looking for something along those lines. So that's why it's at the top of my list, with Avowed as a close second. Now, Avowed, primarily between it being an Obsidian game and then just the genre as far as it being like a first person RPG where you have magic elements and the, I guess you could say like swords and bows and arrows and things like that kind of combination, especially coming from somebody like Obsidian. I want to see how deep they dive into that as far as, the skill trees and things along those lines. So that's where it, it's a pretty close second for me. As far as third, I went with Perfect Dark just because, and this is going to sound like a weird one, considering that we haven't had a Splinter Cell. I want something that's in kind of a similar line of Splinter Cell.
Not third person though.
Right. Even though it's not going to be third person, just having that stealth element and stuff like that, where you're going through a headquarters and picking off people one by one. I want something along those lines. And Ubisoft kind of dropped the ball this entire generation. They put Sam Fisher in every game but Splinter Cell this generation. So, having something along those lines and having bringing back Joanna Dark as the primary character, that I want to see where they go with that, especially given the talent that's at the initiative. Now, it's not that it's at the bottom of the list, but it just happened to fall to fourth is Fable, only because it's kind of a new series for me. I didn't play Fable because I was mainly on PlayStation during the time when that was a pillar for Xbox, but just knowing what Playground has done with one of my favorite franchises being Forza, the Horizon series, I'm really curious to see how they interpret the Fable IP and go from there. I'm pretty sure visually it's going to be stunning, and if they can't put a story together, I know that there's enough talent within that group or within Xbox Studios in general. They'll definitely help them out or point them in the right direction. I have no doubt that they're going to treat that IP well. Now, a few that kind of missed the list type of thing, if if Hellblade 2 was an option,
Yeah.
that would be the top of the list.
Well, there's
just
no
because,
losers here. Let's be honest. I mean, I can throw the numbers out the window. So
yeah. But if Hellblade 2 was on the list, that would be my most anticipated of all of the Xbox Studio games coming up. And then when it comes
Cheers to that.
yeah. And then when it comes to kind of like a dark horse that I don't know if Arcane is working on this or not. I kind of hope that they are. Not that I'm against their not what is it? Not Descent, but I forget their other IP. But the main one I want to see Arcane
Dishonored.
Dishonored. Yeah, it's not as much of a favorite for me in comparison to Prey, but I really want to see like a Prey 2, but in the current format that they released for this previous generation. I want to see a continuation of that type of space horror genre type of game from them. If they make a Prey 2, I'll be all for it. But that would fall kind of like midway of the list. It would probably fall below Avowed, but above Perfect Dark type of deal.
Okay. Can I ask a question, PTK?
Yeah.
Around the idea of, it's kind of like a sub question on Perfect Dark. Because it made me want to ask Fuzzy, have anybody here played the Hitman games? The current ones?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, like, that's where I'm saying, like, what if, like, because there's people like rumors, that whole thing, how rumors go, but they're saying that what if they went down that road with Perfect Dark in the idea of Hitman, where you are basically putting these open world levels where you have multiple ways of approaching situations?
I kind of like that option where you can take just random things or you have 6 different objectives, let's say, to complete the task, and you get to choose whichever way you want. And then sometimes you can kind of change midway of doing things, or things could just by happenstance work out
I like
in the end. But I kind of like that. Although it's weird because there are times where I wish you could just go completely loud for like the Hitman series, and it doesn't seem like it is as easy of an option as it probably should be in some cases. Like, you should be able to set up C4 in certain areas, then go loud, and then when things really fall, where you have to fall back, you should be able to set off the C4, and that pretty much collapsed the building on people. But unfortunately, I don't have a full range of options I'd like to see. But if Perfect Dark explores that and then goes the full route where you can have a full loud option as well as many different stealth or costume changing type of things, I'd be all for it.
See, that's where I feel like that's where Perfect Dark would shine best if it was something on that scale. Like something where you could just start opening up, shooting, or you can go complete stealth, and all of a sudden it's almost like the old school Assassin's Creed where you're blending in with the crowd. You're using the tech that you brought with you to move throughout the building and complete your objectives.
Yeah, no, I love that idea as well. And it definitely fits the personality of the game. I think, like they said, I think that I don't know how much focus is going to be off shooting. They did mention that. They specifically mentioned that it's not going to be just a shooter. There's going to be other things going on as well. They specifically wanted us to make sure they knew that, hey, you're not just getting a generic running gun. So hopefully that just opens up all types of different possibilities for the game. But I think that was a great list to start chat. So let's go ahead and keep this thing moving. Once again, shout out to everybody in the chat right now live, everybody watching at home live. Hit the like button as you come in. Let everybody know the Shop Podcast episode 189 is live. So let's go ahead and keep this thing moving to the next topic. So great segue into the next topic. We're talking a little bit about Perfect Dark expectations and thoughts. Now that the game is out, well, not out, well, now that we know about the game, it's been revealed essentially that the initiative, which is Xbox's first, I guess, quadruple A, they called it, studio.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we're treating this game. So based on, their ranking in Xbox and, the lofty expectations, and they've gone out and acquired some of the best the best talent out there in Santa Monica, which is where they're located at right there with Sony Santa Monica and Naughty Dog and Ubisoft. And they've gotten talent from everybody. Headed up by, I believe, Daryl Gallagher, I believe that's his name, and a couple other people there. But they're and once it was revealed that we're getting a Perfect Dark, so just want to start with you, Husk. Expectations. I know we just kind of touched on it. with the poll of the week, but where you at specifically for Perfect Dark, and what are you expecting out of the game based on the limited information we have?
Well, for one, I expect this game to be a banger. Like it almost
Okay.
has to be, right?
Yeah,
I mean, with what they have in that studio, it to not expect it would be kind of silly, right?
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea, like they were talking about, with it having kind of almost a Hitman feel, like with options, per mission or whatever you're doing. But I also hope they take, it might be first person all, but you take a page out of Sam Fisher's book. Like a second, Fuzzy mentioned Splinter Cell. Like that's this game. I want that option. I want that option to either I go in there and I'm completely silent and nobody knows I was fucking there, or if I have to, I can go hot and also complete. I can complete it loud or silent. That's what I want. I want options.
Yeah.
I want to be able to choose. That's what matters most to me with this game, because it was, the older Perfect Darks were linear. It was what it was. But with the tech we have now and the way games are developed, there's no reason to not give the player a lot more choice, a lot more options.
Okay. All right. No, I 100% agree. And I mean, it does fit the storyline. It fits the tech heavy storyline. It fits kind of everything that's going on. I do like the possibilities of, giving player options, letting you go in hot or letting you go in full stealth. I mean, we assume based on even the character and just the story. I mean, she is a spy, essentially.
Exactly.
That's what she does. So, she's a spy by nature. So hopefully we get some of those elements and we'll see them in game. And I think by them highlighting that it's a first person shooter, and then them basically saying, look, shooting may not be the primary focus. I think that may be them hinting, saying, there's going to be options. I mean, you can kind of take that and make that what you want, but I think it does bode well for people that do want that other option by them saying that. So let's go ahead and throw this over to you, Centurion. Just get your opinion on where you're at on just the Perfect Dark and the expectations, especially coming from Xbox first, built from the ground studio since when's the last studio prior to Initiative that they built from the ground up? Anybody have an idea? I don't even know. So that's what I'm saying. So this is very, very special. It doesn't happen very often, as we can see. So where are you at as far as on Perfect Dark?
So I want to add on to the options thing. Forgive me, I don't know why I remember stuff like this, but actually there was technically just a smidge of options in the original Perfect Dark. The main mission I'm thinking is where they basically start you off in the city and you got to get into the building. And you have options where you can plant an explosive and blow up a car and distract the police, or you can find your way down into this little sewer grate and go under the streets and avoid the police. So there was kind of, even though it was linear, there was some stuff like that in just, I guess, this little linear game, which is why I feel that it would definitely shine as a Hitman type scenario where you create those options. But definitely, I have to agree with Fuzzy once again on it should be able to be completed as, I remember those moments of, just dual wielding weapons and doors opening and you just basically shooting anything that moves. Yeah, definitely I could see why they would, because you are going to have those moments like, excuse me. Let's really think about, like, one of the more iconic moments in Perfect Dark is in one of the first levels where they click all the lights off and all you really have is a pair of night vision goggles and you see all these guys moving around in the room and you have to start basically kind of shooting your way out of there. So I don't see how they would basically make the whole game just like this silent walk around, nobody knows you were there, kind of like Hitman, because that wouldn't be true to, I guess, the idea of Perfect Dark. But
they need to throw wrenches and shit. They have to keep you on your toes, keep it interesting. Absolutely.
But now we're starting to see, like, now here's the cool part. Like, we're starting to see procedurally generated stuff. What if by some chance these games can somewhat set themselves up randomly, like the objectives move around, or things can occur without warning in the game.
I
That
think
is
that's what
basically
Fuzz
just
was
set up
kind of
that way.
alluding to. I think he was alluding to that. But go ahead, Centurion. I think Fuzz.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that part. I
Okay.
apologize if Fuzz said that.
No,
I'm
you're
just
good.
being an echo chamber.
No,
But
you're
anyways, with the initiative, I'm really excited with some of the talent we've heard come out of there. Like you're talking about, it's a long time since we even know of another studio that's been built from the ground up recently. It seems like a lot of studios are expanding. We're not getting a lot of studios that are just upstart. Luckily, we got an upstart studio that's being formed by Xbox that's brought in some of the best talent from gaming that we know of right now. And I got really high hopes over there at the initiative, and hopefully they knock this one out of the park, because I don't see them walking in the room and basically holding a gun to someone's head saying you're making Perfect Dark. I'm pretty sure they had to have some kind of, like, I guess I don't want to say vote, but some kind of a debate on what their first thing should be. And we all talked about at the time when the initiative was coming around, how I guess the main subject at hand for a lot of narrative games were a strong female lead. And it really did feel that everybody was talking about Sam Fisher, which brought up the subject that one of the most, I guess you would say, ignored female characters in gaming, somebody who could actually be compared to a Lara Croft, and that's Joanna Dark. And it's really good to see they're kind of blowing the dust off that franchise.
Yeah,
let's be honest. Joanna Dark could kick the living fuck out of.
Oh no, but that's why. You walk in a room, you walk in a room, and you say Lara Croft. People will know who Lara Croft is. A lot of people are gonna be like Joanna Dark, and it's like,
yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yes,
yeah.
So no, you're absolutely right. A lot of great points, Centurion. Lots of fucking great points. I shot so so you got the $5 super chat. That's my wife actually. So shout out to my wife, man. She said enjoy your show, love you, awesome, love you too, babe. Watching live. But so yeah, so yeah, we're gonna keep this thing moving. But great points, Centurion. Lots of great points. All right, we can shut it down right there, brother. Pretty much hit the nail on the head with that one. But Fuzz, where you at as far as the expectations? Like I know Centurion pretty much covered everything, but just with the pedigree, the talent, the fact that the point can be made, and this is where before I let you talk, the point can be made. Was the studio built for the game, or the game built for the studio?
That's a tough one.
So with that, where you at on that?
Well, one, I'd like to give kudos to Centurion on a lot of his ideas on this game. Honestly, I think you should start sending some stuff over to them, because I like the thought process as far as whether it's, like the Hitman style options, or like calling back to some of like the characters from the original game. Having a lot of that variety and things would definitely bode well for that game, because that's something that we definitely could use as far as variety.
If they open the door and Elvis is in the room and start laughing automatically, because he's automatically just going to start talking crap.
Yeah. No, but given the talent that they have there, I don't want to say tempt your expectations type of thing, but they're basically the kings and queens of the industry as far as from a variety of top-notch studios that they were able to recruit over there. So the expectation is that this is something that's going to be the next pillar for Xbox studios or Xbox in general. Anything less of that, I don't think it's possible given the talent range. There's always that saying, "Oh, too many cooks in the kitchen spoils the soup" type of deal. But I don't think that's going to be the case here, because just in like the interviews and things like that, and some of the feedback you see from some of the people from the initiative that are on social media, I don't think there's any type of like ego clashes or anything like that will be problematic as far as getting in the way of them creating an awesome game. But I totally expect that this is going to be something that Xbox fans are going to, praise and be happy for, as far as, not really recycled, but like a reimagined IP type of thing. Yeah. So I think that's going to be the biggest thing. But overall, my expectations are pretty high for it. not quite as what they were for like Cyberpunk, because I mean, let's be honest, I think that even though the game, despite its bugs, it's got a great story, it's got a lot of, cool highlight moments. I think that's probably clipped a few wings on a few gaming enthusiasts in general, just based on how much hype and expectation was for that. But in the end, I think the CD Project Red will come back and fix that. But all that aside, I think the initiative is definitely going to do something that will be worth our attention and worth our playthrough or our time to play. But I'm trying to, until we get closer to like a launch date or something like that, I'm gonna try to keep it under wraps a little bit. But I totally expect it to be something awesome when they do release it.
I'll keep my stuff under wraps. My expectations down, because I know some of these people came from the Sony side of things, and next thing you know, we'll have Joanna Dark sitting around the office playing a lot of guitar, having strong personal relationships with people.
Oh my goodness, too much. But anyway, moving on. Moving on. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Moving on. No. But great point. Great point, Fuzz. Great point. Way to wrap up the topic. For sure. So let's go ahead and keep this thing moving. Once again, chat, let everybody know. I'm letting you guys know. Chat is for you guys as well. So let us know how you guys are feeling about the topics. Just chime in what you guys want to talk about, anything extra. Let us know. So we're going to go ahead and keep it moving. So this is another topic, and we actually touched on this, I believe, either last week or the week before that. We're going to be talking a little bit of Halo Infinite information or Halo Infinite news. So this is something that, with Cyberpunk being such a big game, being so technically advanced, I should say, being so lofty, the idea of this huge cybernetic universe or world or city that they created, and then seeing those expectations and then seeing them in reality, not really, although the game is phenomenal. I'm not going to shit on the game at all. It's phenomenal. I'm actually seeing more people who are enjoying the game than I'm seeing more people talking about, oh, I'm so pissed off that the game isn't as great as it is. It's more of a technical issue than an idea issue. There's nothing wrong with the idea of Cyberpunk. There's a great game beneath all of the technical problems. So there's a difference, and I think people got to start establishing that difference. So let's go ahead and just start with this one, though. But Halo Infinite, man, should it be next gen only, Husk? We're gonna just throw the baby out the window here.
Oh shit. Should it be? That's hard for me to answer because I'm not, not a dev.
No, for sure. Hypothetically, here we're speaking.
Well, let's just if you speak from scalability, no, it should not be next gen exclusive. It doesn't hold anything back. Yeah, do you have to make more versions of the game? Do you have to optimize more? Yeah, but I don't know. If they did decide that it was only going next gen, I would be okay with it. But I know a lot of people that would miss out on that experience for longer than they should have to, being we waited so long for a new Halo. It's super ambitious comparably to the other ones, but I don't think you leave last gen behind. You don't if you don't have to. And it's not one of those things where you have to. I mean, honestly, if all else fails and the hardware just runs it like total dog shit, you always have the cloud. Like, they built that infrastructure, it's there. You don't have to just hammer down on the old hardware. You don't have to now. By the time this game comes out, it's just you don't need to leave it behind. You don't.
Okay. All right. So some strong opinions on that one. Strong opinions. So I can't say that I agree. I know you're my guest, but
no, that's fair. Dude.
No, I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. But no, ultimately, no. I can't say I 100% agree. But if that's what, when they got to do what they said in reality. So in reality, you came out. This game is supposed to be playable on the last generation system, based on what the last statement 343 made. So you got to stick to your guns at this point. I think from just a point of view, there's been a lot of holdups, lots of change in management. You really don't need hey, we're not going to put this out on the old stuff.
Oh, it makes so many people so mad.
So would it be better for the game? Maybe the game may play like butter on the new systems. It'd be like, ooh, it's so good. It may win game of the year. But that whole idea of we're just gonna not put it on the old stuff. Like it's after after that's the last like that's what you said. So I just think
if you can get 1080p 30 FPS consistently on the old VCR, dude, and people are gonna enjoy it because I mean that's what they're getting anyway, you know.
Yeah, and so great point, Zinc put in the chat. Gears 5 Hive Busters is evidence Halo Infinite is going to be fine on all Xbox consoles. So no, Hive Busters is amazing. The game looks phenomenal. Obviously Gears 5 they did a phenomenal job. Coalition did. So no, we understand they have the facilities to do it. That's kind of what Husk is saying. They have they have the facility. So you're kind of
they just got to get it right.
They just got to get it right. Yeah, that's it. It's the execution. But go ahead, Centurion. Where you at on this, brother?
Go ahead. It's like I make one joke in the DM. All right. So for starters, real quick, it's tragic what is going on over at CD Projekt Red with Cyberpunk 2077. There is definitely a lot up for debate on that whole situation. But that's where definitely people need to, I don't even like saying people, just consumers definitely need to be aware of the product they're buying and the system that they're going to be playing it on. And that goes twofold. One, the consumers have to be aware of the fact that you're never going to get a 1-to-1 ratio. But there's going to be stuff on the Series X that you won't get on the base consoles. And there's going to be stuff on the PC that you can't really do on console at all. That's just the nature of it. And that's how it's been for a very long time. Definitely that's where, how can I say it? These game developers and the executives behind the marketing also have to show the differences on these consoles. And that is definitely something that really bit CD Projekt Red in the ass, was not showing exactly the limitations that were going to be involved by playing this game on. Regrettably, I've heard a lot of the problems, a lot of the biggest glitches are coming from the I guess the base model, the original Xbox Ones from when they first launched. And I always had that in the back of my head, wondering what was going to happen. And I know that regretfully Microsoft is probably taking notes right now, watching what's going on, because they're probably themselves curious on what's going to happen, because pretty much that console, the original Xbox One VCR, is the lowest common denominator in their ecosystem right now. And like Husk said, if we can get that game running at 1080p, 30 frames a second running on that game, on that console, then it'll be all downhill from there for the rest of the consoles. But definitely, I once again want to stretch out that we have to definitely temper our expectations on what that version of the game is going to look like. It's not going to be this great big, glorious masterpiece that's going to have all this stuff in it compared to the Series X version of the game. It's going to be probably, I don't want to say stripped down, but there's going to be some noticeable differences when it comes to frame rate and how the game just looks in general.
Got it. Okay. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and throw this over to you, Fuzz. See where you're at as far as just Halo Infinite and just next gen only potentially, and just kind of where you at, man. What side of the fence you on?
I've always said if they've already announced that it's going to be on the previous gen or now it's the previous gen, at the time current gen, then they got to stick to that plan, because the PR nightmare that would ensue if they decided at the last or the 11th hour that they're going to drop it, I don't think they want that heat. I really don't think they want that. And like Zinc was saying, Hive Busters is a good example of, the scalability within their development cycle. The only caveat would be that this is a new engine, but outside of that, I think that there's plenty of talent at 343 that can make it work. It may not do 1080, it might be 720. I mean, all honesty, if you have the VCR Xbox One at this point and you're expecting 1080, and a lot of other games weren't running 1080, it's time to tempt your expectations. But I think they'll get it in a playable state where it'll be on par with what they saw visually for, Halo 5. So if Halo 5 ran to your liking on the original Xbox, I'm pretty sure they can get Infinite pretty close to that. Maybe the resolution will scale a little bit lower, but I think overall playability should be about the same level. I don't think it's time that they have to look at, doing a different version, kind of like what they did between the 360 and the Xbox One when it came to things like, Forza Horizon 2 or anything along those lines. But given how PCs scale, and yes, I know the consoles aren't PCs, but Microsoft are kind of the software experts in that regard, and they've kind of worked their magic in many ways with other games. And curious to see how Flight Simulator looks on the current consoles, or technically next gen, current now. But I fully believe that 343 will be able to pull it off, get something that's playable at a consistent frame pacing, that will be maybe not as visually stunning as it would be on, let's say, the Xbox One X, but still enough where people are going to enjoy it, and then they may see their friends playing or see screenshots of what it looks like on the Series S or Series X, and that'll give them the incentive to upgrade. But I mean, the fail-safe alternative that's in Microsoft's pocket, if push comes to shove and they just can't get it running the way they want, or something reasonably playable, they still have that streaming option. Now, the thing that's going to suck is if somebody doesn't have internet, but that's kind of the issue that a lot of people are going to have if with any game that they look at nowadays, with not having at least some form of internet access. But the streaming option where you'll be essentially playing the cloud version, it's better than not playing it at all. But I think that's at least the plan B. If shit hits the fan, that's their plan B. So there's at least a fallback option.
Yeah, see, that right there, that's a big thing right there in my mind, is the fact that you can't discount these old consoles. Like they're going to be perfectly fine streaming boxes. Like the hardware might not be up to par to handle a lot of shit, but the second you start streaming this stuff from their blades, the hardware under the hood's only got to be able to pull it up and throw it on your screen. It doesn't necessarily really have to render hardly anything. So it's not going to be that tasking.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, once again, we know that cloud and the infrastructure that they put billions and billions of dollars into, and that they're still.
What's up?
What's up? We got us live, man. We got the live cam on. But either way, so yeah, no, we know that's like a safety net. Essentially, it's a parachute for Xbox. It's one of the few things that they do have that's unique that nor Nintendo nor Sony can really compete in that space. It's one of the very few things that they do have that they can kind of like a feather in their cap. But either or, like the ideas, gentlemen. We'll definitely see what happens with Halo Infinite. We'll see what they decide to do. We'll definitely see. So let's go ahead and keep moving. So this last topic here is definitely Christmas related. So a lot of us here, I know all of us here on the panel, are a little bit older. I mean, I'm not just for men just yet, but I'm almost there. But a lot of us are older gentlemen, as well as a lot of people that actually watch the actual podcast are older as well, gentlemen and females as well. Sorry, don't mean to miss you, ladies. So wanted to get into just memorable Christmas gaming moments, like shit that happened growing up. Us, like, what's your most memorable? And you're live, your face is on camera too, so you can't lie. So what's one of just your favorite, most memorable Christmas gaming moment, like just growing up?
God damn. Honestly, it would be like the day after Christmas, just running Ethernet cables all over the damn place. System linking Halo.
Nice.
That was like I don't know. I don't know if I could go back to a better time. I mean, once online came around, like there was a Christmas I spent like 2 days solid playing Left 4 Dead. So that was a good one too. But Halo for sure with like my closest friends. System
OG Halo.
room to room. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. The OG Xbox, the whole 9 yards. Just God, dude, like nostalgia trip, like crazy there. That's my best gaming memory. Absolutely.
And it's so Halo really like so there. I think everybody just about. I mean, you don't even have to like Halo, not have to like Halo, but have to like Xbox. I think a lot of people have had that Halo moment, and I think I'm with you on that one, Husk. I'm 100% with you on that one. I had a homeboy in high school. He was the only one that had a car out of all of us. We'd go to his house, pile in the TVs in the back in the trunk. About 3 TVs in the trunk. We play people for money after school, like different like groups of people. We like run, meet people and stuff. Oh yeah, we're gonna come to your house, and we have everything in the trunk, like we were a rock band, and we're just playing Halo.
Yep.
Like I cannot recreate those experiences. Like there's no way to recreate that. So Husk, just to kind of elaborate, just before I move on to Centurion and Fuzzy Belvedere, it's almost something that you had to be there. It's like a Led Zeppelin, like a Bruce Springsteen experience. Like you just got to be there. You can't really. So I mean,
if you weren't there, you'll never really. You can't get that experience. Like
yeah. Oh man,
one of a kind, man. Like it doesn't. Everybody hauls their Xbox to your house. Everybody pitches in on long ass. God damn. God, what would they been like? Cat 2 cables, like what Ethernet cables? Everybody pitching in money or bugging their parents to hook them up with one, so that when they go over to their friend's house, they could take their Xbox and their TV and their console and their Ethernet cable and be able to play. And like the shit running around in school, like, oh, we're better than you guys are. We're better. Oh, come over to my house and prove it. And then they never show up again because you beat the shit out of them. Good old boarding action, dude. That map created some hatred.
Dude. Oh yeah, for sure. But it's you cannot recreate that, Husky. You're absolutely right, man. I had the same Halo moment. I think for me it started a little bit earlier personally. I would say my favorite game of all time, as big of a Halo fan I am, is Zelda Ocarina of Time. And I think that's the moment that it hit me. That holy shit, this is something like different and special. But yeah, I had a Halo moment too. I think kind of we all have. So let's go ahead and throw this over to you, Centurion. You got a Christmas gaming moment, like something. So you got me stuck, Husker. So like a Christmas gaming moment, like something that's very memorable.
God, I probably sound like a total. I don't really have one specifically to hit the nail on the head.
That's a good one.
I grew up with a parent that didn't believe in computers. So the concept of trying to bring people over to your house and hook up all these TVs and stuff was alien to them. So I was always the one that was going over to the friend's house and hanging out at the party and playing Halo. So I would have to say like that's my experience at the LAN parties. For me with holidays though, it's actually something I discovered, I'd say a few years ago, and I have fun with it every holiday season is I just love the little holiday events that they have in all these games, like with Overwatch, Destiny, ESO. There's a number of games out there now that actually totally change up their play. Like a good one this year was, oh my God, what's the name of it? It's the Dwarves. It's a mining game. It's on my screen right now. Hold on, let me turn my console on. Have you played this one yet? It's in Game Pass. Deep Rock Galactic.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we're supposed to play that together, man. We're supposed to all play that together.
If you guys haven't played that, all right. So
I played it when it was in a preview program. When you only got the little 10 hours.
Oh man. See, I got Downer gifted it to me when it was in the preview program, and now it's basically obviously not in the preview program. It's a full-fledged game. And it's kind of funny. You're these 4 dwarves that have these classes. You get dropped off underground. You got to fight creatures and stuff. And it's kind of like Horde, but there's objectives to it. You got to mine minerals or collect objects underneath there during this whole thing. I mean, it's actually a very fun game, really fun to play with friends. And during the holiday season now, they've gone and changed everything up. There's packages everywhere. When you shoot some of these enemies, they burst with confetti and other stuff in the air. I mean, it's really fun to play during the holidays. And those are the little things I love about gaming during the holidays, because, you know, with us, how I say, during the pandemic, there's a lot of people stuck inside. And also with everything going on, I noticed that kind of some of the cities didn't decorate as much this year. And that's where it didn't feel that way on gaming this year. I feel they really went over and above with gaming and did a lot of fun events.
Awesome. Oh, I like the event too. I think that's always cool. Like, you know, I'm big into Destiny. You know, they do it as well. I think even the Division. I don't remember, Fuzz. It's been a while since I jumped on the Division. I think Division generally has some type of Christmas event. You get, you know,
there were Christmas weapons, and there were special enemies that you would get. They would wear a Santa's hat and
Santa hat.
Like that.
So
ugly Christmas sweaters.
So that's really, really neat to always.
Even Forza got in on it. They gave you a Santa costume that you could drive around in.
Yeah. So that's always neat to see the seasons change within the game. So I agree with that as well, Centurion. So let's throw this over to you, Fuzz. You know, where you at, man? Christmas gaming moment, man. You have one that's most memorable?
See, mine's going to sound pretty boring or pretty weird. My personal one would be when I was, I gotta say, when I was like 8 years old, and we went Christmas shopping, which, you know, living in New York, it's living in an apartment, you know, there really isn't a Santa when you're young. It's like, oh, fire escape, no chimney. Yeah. But anyway, we went to Toys R Us, and I remember my brother went off to one aisle because my brother, like my siblings are way older than I was when I was at that age. So they were already like ready to move out the house type of thing. So they're just helping my mom and me, you know, do the Christmas shopping. And I remember my brother went off, got this box, and he had it all covered up and everything. Come to find out, that was my ColecoVision. So that was like my intro to my own gaming console. Like every other thing was where it was like either my sister's console or, you know, like a little handheld thing. But that was like my first console was the ColecoVision. But aside from that, the more memorable ones, and this is going to sound weird because, hey, you're at work. And I hope nobody at work is listening. But then again, the actual manager at the time is not there anymore. So I was over in the web area, you know, in charge over there, and there was a different person in charge of the call center, but he was off that day for like the holidays, and it's usually like the day before, before Christmas Eve, because we get Christmas Eve and Christmas Day off, but the phones are slow. And like the call center, you usually have like the usual, I won't say the usual suspects. It's like the ones that either they won't allow to get time off because they do their job too well. So it's like, no, we really need you to stick on the phones. Or they have, you know, the person that used up all their days earlier in the year. So it's like the same, you know, usual 5 guys that would be there. And in our call center, there's tons of monitors up on the walls to show like the number of inbound calls, the you know, the wait times, the number of calls per, you know, rep and stuff like that. So considering it's the day before Christmas Eve, we probably get a total of 14 calls for the entire day. So what everybody did was they brought in their Xboxes and hooked up their Xboxes to the monitors in the call center. So it's like they left the one monitor on so that way they could see if there was any inbounds or anything like that. But all the other monitors, they had their Xboxes set up. So like in between a call, it's like not another call for like another 15, 20 minutes or a half hour or more. It's like, all right, let's do a quick match of Call of Duty. So it's like, you know, me finishing up a few things on the web, go over there, and it's like, oh, wait. Yeah, you guys haven't had a call in an hour and a half. Yeah, and let me hop in on this match. So, yeah, that was about the the biggest, memorable Christmas, not Christmas Day, but like just before, the last day before we're off for the 2 days type of thing, just playing Call of Duty in the call center and stuff like that on the big screens, which they had like, I think the one wall is like 360-inch, and then the other one is like 275-inch monitors up there where they have all the stats and stuff like that. So it was pretty decent setup, and I was pretty amazed at how they had everything wired to where they just had the quick connect thing for the HDMI to that monitor. But that was probably the most memorable Christmas or leading up to the Christmas holiday memory in gaming.
See, I want a memory like that, man. Call it. Oh my god, dude! You guys wanted to know my memory? It's sitting 9 hours by a trash can waiting for Xbox One when they were hard as hell to find. That was on a Black Friday, perched outside of Target for 9 hours. But what made it fun was my wife was the manager of the Payless right next door. So technically, we had the only public bathroom for that line on lockdown.
Nice. Inside info. Yeah, the inside info. All right, cool. Got to use those advantages, man.
Does anybody remember a game called Fear Effect? 4 discs.
Fear Effect.
I'm pretty sure it's F period E period, like through the whole, and then effect. It was a puzzle game. It was a 4-disc puzzle game. Leo said he was talking about like when he got his PS2 with Devil May Cry 3. I'm pretty sure it was the first PlayStation. When I got it for Christmas, and that was one of the games my parents got me, and it took us like weeks to finally be able to beat it, like after school and shit. I was hoping somebody had played it too. You have like 4 different characters, you have 4 different discs, and some of those puzzles were just stupid hard, for especially at that age, I guess. But no, shit, I'm gonna look it up. I'll link it. Wow. I think so.
Wow.
All right. So once again, everybody, man, that was a great topic. So we all have some great Christmas memories. I mean, all of those were super. I remember, like you said, the Halo, just everything surrounding Halo. And, I was a big Sega kid growing up. So I remember getting the Sega Genesis. That was big for me and my brother because we begged my dad to send us one, and begged. And he said he wasn't going to do it. And then obviously Christmas Day, we go downstairs, open up, and, we open and give us, and boom, there it is. So it was super awesome because we begged for that damn system. But either way, that is actually going to go ahead and just wrap the show up, man. We're going to wrap things up with that, man. But once again, we're going to go ahead and go around the panel here. The chat was amazing. You guys are always so awesome, showing support here on the Shop Podcast. So once again, let everybody know about the channel. We appreciate you guys every single week. We will start with our guest, Husk, and before everybody bails out, before we wrap everything up completely, I want to say thank you, brother, for being a part of the show, having the time to hang out with us here, spend a little bit of your weekend, right, especially right after the holidays when you could be with family or something else. Thank you for hanging out with us, man. We appreciate you having you on the show, man. You're welcome here anytime, no problem. But let everybody know where you're at, where they can find you at, brother.
You can find me every Wednesday on Gaming Beyond the Box at 8 Eastern. You can find me on Twitter, ACS_Husk, and pretty much everywhere else. Xbox Live, any social media platform. It's all the same handle. Thanks for having me on the show, dude. I appreciate the invite. It was fun getting to. There was a lot of nostalgia today. I really enjoyed it. So
yeah,
I appreciate the invite, man.
Really Not a problem, Husk, man. Appreciate you. Shout out to everybody at Game Beyond the Box as well. Wilmy, everybody over there. Appreciate you guys. Once again, everybody, as you file out, the link will be live on Twitter. I did notice that Twitter did take away the Periscope option, everybody. I know we're kind of wrapping things up here, so we won't be live streaming on Periscope or Twitter like we had. Maybe I'll figure out another way to we can live stream on Twitter, but until that happens, you'll just be able to find us here on YouTube. So I know a lot of people actually watch us on Twitter, so I just wanted to put that out there as well, that option won't be available any longer. So let's go ahead and throw this over to you, Centurion. Let everybody know where they can find you at, brother. What you got cooking up?
Oh man. Well, I will definitely say thanks for having a show the day after Christmas, man. It was fun. Definitely helped fill in some of the time on the days off. Husk, it was good seeing you again, man. Definitely got to hang out with you guys over there with Wilmy Hood and them on Gaming Beyond the Box. You guys definitely had me laughing my ass off the last time I was there. So anyways, for those interested who want to find me, be sure to follow me at Centurion1307 on Twitter, Xbox Live, and YouTube. You can also locate me right here every Saturday night on the Shop Podcast, and you can find me every Sunday night over on the TXR Podcast.
Awesome. Centurion, I appreciate you, man. Every week, always here, consistent, man. Thank you so much. Shout out to my guy Stag too. We ain't forgot, brother. We'll see you next week, brother. He's comedy relief for the show. So we gotta have Stag on to balance things out. We can't have too much fuzz. It becomes overload. He kind of, the smoothness becomes overly smooth. But anyway, let's go ahead and throw this over to you, Fuzz, man. Just giving you a hard time there, but let everybody know what's going on with you, brother.
Well, I want to thank Husk for joining us. It was awesome having him on here, and hopefully everybody checks out the Gaming Beyond the Box on Wednesdays. Also a good group as well. Always keeps you laughing. Always on point with topics and just having fun. Good hangout. But man, hope everybody had an awesome holiday and or time with family and friends, or whether it be face to face or long distance, video call, whatever. Hope everybody had some enjoyable, safe time out there. You can always find me on Twitter at @fuzzy_Belvedere, PSN at @fuzzy_Belvedere, Xbox Live at @fuzzy_Belvedere. I'm usually playing a racing game. Haven't been playing too much games. Been watching my kids play games more so than actually getting to play games. But that time of year, it's for, at least for me right now, it's more about them having fun at the moment. So awesome being here. Always a great time talking. Our favorite hobby, or my favorite hobby, being gaming. So thanks for having me on here, Blam.
Not a problem, Fuzz, man. We still waiting on that OnlyFans to get popping. Husk, I don't know if you know, but we're going to start Fuzz a ASMR OnlyFans.
Oh God, dude.
So,
Oh no.
as soon as we get that revenue coming in, I may be like, fuck YouTube. But anyway, no, but I love you. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So last but not least, your boy PTK Blam, the host with the most. Catch me everywhere, PTK Blam, here on Twitter, PTK Blam, YouTube as well, Xbox Live. Hit me up, PTK Blam. I'm always on. Most likely playing Destiny, trying to get Fuzz ass to play Destiny as well. So we'll see if he's busy tonight or not. But either way, hit me up there as well. Appreciate you guys. Every single week, you guys come, show up, show out. So next week, new guests, same time, same place. Thank you for hanging out with us right after the holidays, man. You guys, please be safe. Have a happy new year.
Hit that like button.
And hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe if you have not already, everybody. Peace out. Shout out to you, Michael. I just saw you jump in. The link, you gotta go back and watch the show. So the link will be up on Twitter, bro. You can just rewind this and go back and start from the beginning. But appreciate you guys, man. Talk to you next week. We are out of here. Peace out, everyone.